Testing to this. There we go. There we go. Now we got the mic. Hopefully it's not too terribly loud. Let me drop down a bit. There we go. Yeah, so Lorcana. Game I've been following quite a bit. Very interested in playing it. Probably gonna pick up physical copies of it. Wish I had gone to Gen Con so I could have got some there, but alas, fortunately could not. So one of the things that we're going to look at is we're going to look at the different archetypes. And we are going to look at some deck building. First, we're going to go to have a lot of different decks in here. We're just going to keep these here, but we're going to create some new decks here. So for me, there's really two archetypes that I enjoy, which are both going to be control style archetypes. So the first one is purple red and blue red. Have a blue red that I like right now. So if we take a look at ramp removal, the one that I currently have, I think if I could, I would like to get, honestly, like some of these rid of. Okay, so add the other Aladdin. Adding in the Gaston would also be very nice. It would stir up some of the areas, but for now, let's run it like this and see what we got here. What's nothing else. What's this? So for one more, we're using the Mufasa things. Not using. Vibe doesn't really special, but you have the Robin Hoods. Mickey, so thinking extra bell would be. Let's take a look at the deck. Do a little bit of playing, check it out for a moment, and then see how we're feeling about it. Alright. We'll get there. And then what I'll do is once we play a couple games of it, take a look at the deck. We may wonder if there's a way to clone the deck. I don't think there's a. Would be nice if they added a way to clone them. But we'll duplicate the deck a couple times, and then we will tweak some things like Scar. Could I put in the Mufasa or the Maleficent? Adding in the Maleficent, what does that do? That allows me to go Mickey on turn 3 into 4, then turn 5 play a Maleficent. Perfect. Um, so there's definitely little tweaks that we can do. Weird, man. I can get like a game at 4 o'clock in the morning, but having trouble at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What the hell? Let's go. Also, Discord. Okay. What's maybe the program crashed? Looks like maybe the pro. Or Discord. No maintenance scheduled. Clicking here. Well, I guess while we wait. Take a look at the decks that are out there. So we're looking at, so the archetype that we're working on right now is of course the filtering doesn't seem to work out. Let's just look for, here's a Ruby ramp. Well, it's using 2-drop 2/2. I mean, it's not a bad card. I'm not using any one drops in there. Not sure if I like that scar there. I'd rather have the gun on. I also really don't like 4 drops in this deck because of the fact that you mulligan hard for the Mickey, and because you're mulligan so hard for that Mickey, you really want that Mickey on turn 3, which means you're going to bypass 4 and you're going to go straight to 5. I also don't like the Mulan here. I don't think this is a good Ruby ramp deck. I mean, it's got things that I think are good. Maleficent, Aladdin, the Robin Hood. Yep. Let's see what else we have. Mid. So they're going with the more early game stuff. I'm not a fan of that. I think they're not using any of the back ends. Okay. Nope, not the type of control deck we're And I'm surprised. I figured there would be a lot more. Is it style decks that people. This is the other type that we'll be looking at is purple red control. Let's just take a quick look at it. They're using the Donald because it lives through it a lot and can be inked. I like the Gaston here. I think that is a not a fan of the LeFou. But bit of a card. Maleficent is good. I know a lot of people like the roof. Hate that he's not able. Crap, dude. Get some. There's better. The Queen is wonderful. Absolutely hard. Maui's probably one of my favorite cards in the game right now. 2 Ursula, that's the... Not a fan of 4 Brave Little Tailors. I don't know how I feel about this card yet. And honestly, I would rather have the Cauldrons. So I would probably go... I don't really like the Pocket Watch either. Give it Rush. Maui gives you the Rush already. Sure, having Rush on Gaston would be great, but Pocket Watch costs 3, and now you're making Gaston cost 3 plus having a Pocket Watch in play. It's not worth it. I think you get rid of that. I think you get rid of the Cauldron. I know the Cauldron's great. Don't get me wrong. The Cauldron's good. I think you get rid of it. I think you up the shield. Because honestly, I think the shield is amazing. And then even go as far as I haven't. And then I would probably zap the LeFous. We'll go. And the Jets. Not a fan. I would add in 4 Aladdins. That way you can shift early. And honestly, I'd rather have the Stitch over the Taylor half the time. I'd rather have Elsa's. Now we're back up to 60. Still would like to in. I think the Mickey and Broom combo is worth it. And I like Tinkerbell better than other choices, but she's not inkable. If she was inkable, I would be much more happy with it. If the Freeze was inkable, I'd be much more happy with that too. I would like to add 3 mirrors in. Means finding 3 things to take out. I'd probably just take out the Donalds. Be prepared. Goal is the long game, not the early game. Probably. Take out 1 more card here. And we're looking at 40, 20, so it's a good stretch there. we're not using, I guess in this case we didn't mind, but I'm not willing to get rid of either one or drop. So I think that's fine. Plus, you know, a lot of times we're going to save our Gaston or else out, play the one turn. Also may use for draw an extra card. And I think this is better. Got a better curve to me. I don't like that 6 drop. So like I dropped out 2 Brave Little Tailors. Added in 2 Stitches. I think I'd feel better about that. That makes me feel something. Really want some. These are $1,000 right now. That's insane. That is the definition of insanity. Microsoft? Okay. Let me bring that back a bit. Testing, testing, testing. How's the mic now? Is that a little better? I know I got some filters and gates in there because of that way you guys listen to me vape the entire. But yeah, $1,000 for that's absolutely insane. And I'm sure the Maui, which is honestly starting to become more and more popular, is definitely going to be more, also going to be up there. The Aladdin, I'm not sure how high the Aladdin will get, or if it will start stabilizing and go lower. The non-enchanted version is going to be more accessible than because it's in a starter. But I think the enchanted version probably still stay pretty high. The Mickey I expect to stay also very high. Now what is going on? There's definitely something going on with the server today. Hey, look, I might not be able to do any gameplay today. Looks like the server might be dead. Jump forward. Oh. I just have. Okay. Not me. Server is having trouble. Okay, yep. Server is down, so let's just continue looking at what we got going on right now. Oh, So let's go ahead. And we will create a couple decks. Let's start with our blue, red, and make a basic deck so we can import it in and then do the little changes. So let's go with what's the most important parts of the. So it's a ramp deck, first and foremost. The ramp is the most important thing that we're looking at. It means 4 of her, 4 Mickeys. You could go also into the jump ahead. I don't think it's worth it. If jump ahead was inkable, I mean, if it was inkable, I think going with the storyteller is just a better choice. You can get a damage out of it, and it's a little, yes, it's not as instant as jump ahead would be, but I think you really don't need the jump ahead right away. So I think this is good for a ramp. So outside of ramp, what's our next thing that we need to be looking at? Well, it's going to be the control aspect. So when we're looking at control, we're looking at a couple things that straight up kill stuff. This is our control package. So the Gaston and the Maui, they're going to be what we're attacking into the guys with. So you can think of it as this costs 5 for 6 damage on a tapped character. This is 2 to get rid of bodyguards. Super good. And then we're looking at Hades and Maleficent are ways to get a big body into play and to take a body away. So this is a 2-card swing pretty much. Dragonfire and Let It Go are going to be some spot removal. That's very important. And then Be Prepared, which is going to be our sweeper. So now, this is the basis of our control deck. I do also like adding in the 4 Robin Hoods. The Gen Con ones, I mean. The reason why I like adding in Robin Hoods is because of the ability to take care of evasive and the ability to draw cards. I wish this was a little bit more than a cantrip. So cantrip is a card that replaces itself. So when you play this card, you're playing a card out of your hand, so you're losing a card out of your hand. But you are replacing it, so it's a cantrip. If your opponent has more cards than you. I kind of do wish it said draw 2 cards. So that way it would be actual card advantage. But for the most part, I think this will work. So that is the basic package. Could add in the Shield of Virtues, so that way you can keep your Mauis safe. or allows you to, you know, um, other things safe. I don't think this is as important in this style deck, but it may be. The next type of package that we would run would most likely be Aladdin package. So take care of some, if they've gotten ahead on the early game, if they're an aggro deck, we want to use this package to lower their lore and give us that chance to get to the point where we can win. But I think we're going to save the deck right here as this. Save. Name it as okay. Importing. So what this does is this gives us the key concepts of the deck, and now we'll be able to import it in to Pixelborn. Button anyway, so let's back up a lot. What I'm talking about by importing is if we go here and go to options, export Pixelborn, import deck, ramp, test. You'll import the deck. Now, obviously, it says that we don't have 60 cards. So, but it gives us what we need here in the beginning, and now we can fill out what we want to get later. So, I'm going to add in the Aladdin package. And you could add in like the evasive package. You can go for the little package. I still like larger package here. I like the Aurora because it can protect my other units. There. Could add in the bell. Could go for the Jasmine package if you want. You could go for more of the Maleficent package there. Wanted to. Could throw in the Velvet Brain package, which I actually like. Not really an item deck, so I'm stay away from that. We're 6 cards over. Means we could drop a couple things. Wanted to, we could drop a bell. Could drop a Stitch. Don't really want to drop any other ones. Probably drop Aura, and I probably just drop. So this will be almost Aurora. AA archetype. Let's see if nope. Of course, the one day I decide to do some streaming again, system's not working. Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law. Oh, well, I think we'll work on the other archetype that we were talking about. So we got this saved. So the deck builder was created. Now let's look at other archetypes that I really like. And again, this archetype is still going to have our kill package. So we're still going to be going Ranger's Fire, 4 prepares. Still going to be going Maui's, Maleficents, 2 Customs. So that's our control package there. I'm going to add it in with a better draw package. So 3 magic mirrors, 4 friends and places, 4 queens, oops. Now the other part of the package is going to be a tap down package. So 4 of each of these. I like to run 1 or 2 of these, just that way when they do be prepared, you can keep your other cards. They go back to your hand. You'll still lose the main guy, but the other ones will go back to the hand. The other nice thing is you can run this one and do the shift, but generally you're not too worried about it. Although if you want to get him out before, if they went first, or if they're ramping, you want to get him out before they do the be prepared. So the shift can actually be really, really good. This doctor is not too bad. I mean, it's good stats. But he's still gonna struggle with like the Simba with bodyguard. It's kind of what the Gaston's for. They got that Simba with bodyguard. Now, another part of the package that you can do is definitely go with the Fars, which so when you really look at it, this one has 1 extra lore, and you need 5 cards in hand to equal this Jafar, but you do get an extra lore. So I think he's generally considered the better version. And then I would go with a couple of Rafikis. Since we don't have the Aladdin package, I know the Ursula is always one that people like to run. I like running Zeus. Half the time I actually prefer the Zeus over the Rafiki. because they're going to attack on the same turn. The difference is I have a lot of other 3-drops that I want to use. So why don't we try that instead? Instead of the Rafikis, we'll try 3 Zeuses. And then this comes back down to what we want to do here. I think still do want the Aladdin package. I think it's just too good of a package not to use. I actually want to go with the fields. That leaves us with 2 that we can add in. So I'm not worried about the early game because we have to be prepared, so we have the other things. Go with like Scar, which when you play this minion ready, a minion with 3 or less cost, which is a couple things, but it would let us ready the Elsa, so we could, but the Scar doesn't have Rush. Would prefer something more with Rush, like but the Peter doesn't have, can't be inked. Don't think the other one's that good. Actually, don't mind this Captain Hook because Rush. Also like that he gets rid of evasiveness. But the befuddled's not too bad in the beginning also. This would allow you to pull up like their Simba. How's it going, man? It would allow you to pull up the Simbas or maybe their early rush lore tech. It can still be inked, so it is a card that we may be interested in, but I think honestly wouldn't mind having a little bit more early game. I think going with either the Archimedes or the Doctor. We only have Gaston. I think we'll go throw in the 2. I think this is pretty solid. Save this one. Tap. Roll. Tap. Tap. Okay. Now, the next thing, though, is we also want to just go back to the archetypes. So let's take out all the little extra things that we're thinking. So, like, card draws, archetype, like the Aladdins, not part. They're a package, but they're not part of the archetype that we're looking at. I don't think. I do like the Zoo. I think the Jafar is part of the archetype. I think this is your base archetype. So 44, and then you work towards the rest. The downside is you definitely need to add in more ink, and you do have a little bit of a curve issue there. So let's save this one as test. Or Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think so. So there are a couple other archetypes. There's some aggro archetypes that are very popular. A lot of your aggro stuff is going to be in this color here. One of the reasons why this makes such a good color for aggro is the Lilo, which costs 1, gives you 2 lore. The LeFou, which is 2 for 2, and Inkable. Maximus, which gives you the bodyguard. Simba, which gives you the bodyguard. Stitch, which costs 1 for 1, and it's a 2/2. So I think those are all things that, you know, that's really part of that archetype there. A lot of people pair it with purple because you have Maleficent, that's also a 1 for 2. Gain access to more card draw, access to more control. More importantly, you gain access to the room and Mickey deck. Junction with Stitch, Rockstar, you can get a lot more card draw off there too. And you may want, I know Limited Line is a very popular deck, and that's going to be using Duke, Cheshire Cat, Flynn, Pawns. I really like Jasper in that. And Cusco, very popular archetype with the Lemon Lime. You could also do the Steal from the Rich on that and really get a little aggro going, and then zap a lot of their stuff. Mother Knows Best is one of those interesting cards because it's uninkable. So it's one of those cards where you're like, when you need it, you're very happy you have it. When you don't need it, staring at it, wishing you could get rid of it. Another archetype that I see a lot of, item archetype, Belle, Ariel. There's actually an OTK deck with Ariel. It's very hard to pull off though, and it's got some RNG issues. Running that in with stuff like I'm running the item package here, which is not too bad. This lets you get you some heals. This lets you play cards into your ink wall, whether they're inkable or not, which is super strong. This gives you extra lore. So these two cards are extremely popular in the item deck. The other one that we really haven't talked about is Steel, which I really like Steel. There's some incredible combos here in Steel. Obviously, the first being, you know, the For the Cannon, or Fire the Cannons, and the Captain Hook. Great little combo. You have a Musketeer style combo that's, you know, popular. Really do like the symbols. I really wish any of these had shift. If any of these had shift, I'd be much more happier with these. Especially like this one. If this one had shift, I'd be all over that. Also love this one if this one had shift. It was like shift 3. Sold. But yeah, so the other big combo that you see a lot of is going for the Tinkerbell on 3, on 4, shifting this Tinkerbell, and because you're shifting it, it doesn't have summoning sickness. So then you can immediately do a grab your swords. So that's 3 damage to all of their minions, which is really good. Ransack is very good about, you know, letting you cycle through your deck pretty much. Smash and fire the cannons are both really good at, you know, taking out some of the early stuff. Fire the cannons is great for taking out those Lilos. Beastmere is honestly a lot better than people give credit for when it first was announced. But now that it's you know, been out for a while, like we've been able to see that it really is quite good. It is not as good as something like Magic Mirror, in my opinion. Yes, Magic Mirror costs 1 more to activate, but it doesn't require you to have them in hand. They both cost 2, but Beast's Mirror can be inked, where Magic Mirror cannot be. Look at that. I like that team. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. Holy World, very popular card. It's a Wheel of Fortune, pretty much, if you're familiar with Magic stuff. Lorcana. So this is the Disney TCG that's coming out on the 18th. Should be at your local game stores on the 18th. We're just kind of going through the archetypes and taking a look at some of the stuff. Another big archetype with steel is this Bodyguard archetype. So what Bodyguard does is when this character may interplay tapped. I'm going to use a lot of Magic terms. An opposing character who challenges one of your other characters must challenge the Bodyguard first. So it's kind of like a wall, a blocker. So we see that a lot being paired with Amber. So you go with the aggro package of the Lilu, and then you're getting Bodyguard from Maximus, and you're getting Bodyguard from the Simba, and you're getting Bodyguard from a couple of the steel cards, like Hercules. And this allows you to protect smaller stuff. Now, granted, still cards like Be Prepared or Wreck You. A little bit more like Magic Light. So it's Magic without instants. So you ever play Portal? Like Magic Portal is pretty much what I would consider it more. Definitely not Yu-Gi-Oh! Complex. And not quite as low as Hearthstone, I thought. Still trying to see if these servers are coming back up. So, gameplay. Really nice if we could. But I don't think the servers are back. So, the other thing that we see a lot of is Amethyst being a very popular color with the card draw. I really like the interaction between Mickey and the brooms. Pay less for the brooms, and whenever one of your brooms are banished, defeated, you may return to your hand. Broom, letting you cost 2 for a 2/2 or. Obviously, when Mickey's in play, the brooms only cost 1. Play this character, you may shuffle a card from your discard pile to a player's deck, from any discard pile into any player or into the player's deck. The reason why I really think the brooms are a lot better than people give them credit for is the way mulligans work in this game. Is you're going to draw your opening hand of 7 cards, you're going to choose X amount of cards, and you're going to place them under your deck. So they go to the bottom of the deck, and then you draw to replace them. Well, there's very few cards that shuffle the deck. So, unfortunately, what happens is anything you're putting under your deck in a deck that doesn't have any kind of shuffling mechanics, you pretty much might as well be discarded. You know, you're not going to see them. Or with the magic brooms, it allows you to shuffle those back in and then randomize your mulligan cards or any other cards that you might have placed underneath. And there are quite a bit of cards that do place stuff underneath. Ursula's Cauldron, which is a very popular card. Let's you look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one on top, put one on bottom. This will allow you to get more shuffles in using the brooms to keep those cards in rotation instead of just having them forgotten. Again, these enchanted cards are just absolutely beautiful art piece of card. Not to mention the Elsa in general is just an exceptionally strong card. Yeah, it costs 8, can't be inked, but it can be shifted at 6. When it comes to play, tap up to 2 target characters. They can't ready at the start of their next turn. Magic effect, it's stasis on those cards for a little bit. The song card, so it costs 3, it can be inked, and a character with a cost of 3 or more that is not affected by summoning sickness. That is very important. If the card, or in this game it's called, if the ink is still wet, aka summoning sickness, so it has to be able to normally tap, so it can't be affected by summoning sickness. But it's 3, it can cost you nothing if you tap a character, draw 2 cards. Very good card for this Amethyst subset. I know people like the Rafiki. I'm still not sold on them. I'll play with him a little bit more, but I'm just not very sold on him. I like the Rush, but it's still hard. I like Zeus a little bit better, honestly. Especially in like one where you are seeing a lot of Tinkerbells who have 4 health, or a lot of the Dr. Posauces will also have 4 health. This allows you to get through him. He does have 2 lore, which is very nice. But I do understand why people like the Refit. Just with having Elsa and Maleficent, I mean, that's 8 cards in my 3-drop slot already. I'd rather have something on the 4-drop. Pascal's really good. So he's just 1 for 1/1/1 with Inkable. So you can play him as land, but he's got the camouflage. As long as you have another character in play, the character gains elusive, which allows him to just go in there and pink in quite a bit. Sadly, don't think the Anna is any good. So when you play this character, you may have, if you have Elsa in play, you can choose target character. Target character doesn't ready, but she doesn't tap him down. You're still relying on the Elsa to tap the character down. And she's 4 for a 2/4. Does have 2 lore. I think if she was, I think she could have been a 2/2, 2 for 4 that tapped and did the stasis effect, and I would have liked to have seen that a little. And then of course the Elsa, which is 3. So you know the thought is that you'll play Elsa on turn 3, turn 4. On turn 4, you'll tap the Elsa, tap a character down, play the Anna. That character won't untap during their turn. But that's 2-card combo that takes up your third and fourth turn just to tap down a character for a little longer. It's just not. Logging section. I mean that setting. Yes, okay. Let's back up. Right. Let's take a look at the Ruby ramp that we were looking at earlier. See if we can get a game. Here we go. Okay, so we are going second. Did get some Mickeys. Really don't need either one of these. That's late. Hang on to the map. I can live with that. Maybe. I don't have a lot of oh, yeah. Tap the now he has a. Okay, he's going with the Pascal. That hurt. We really need to inkable card next turn. So that is the one downside. Oh. Looks like it went back down. Close. We were almost able to play a game. Not gonna reconnect. If it does. Hold on a second. Honestly, we really need to get. See if it works. Alright. Got him. Okay. I don't think we need to develop the brain. I think we off. Might want to use that as land. I think we go with the stops him from going in with that Eric. So we have the B prepared. We have the board wipe. It is interesting that he did not zap it. Zap that. Go with the Mickey. I have a feeling he's going to try to tap this down. Expect us to run in with the Gaston, but if we can run in with the Maui instead, his stuff is not as safe as he thinks it is. Thinking he's got the Hakuna Matata there to heal back up the Maximus. But what this is going to allow us to do, go and kill the Maximus and kill the Prince without losing one of our characters. Now we're going to quest with him, so he can kill one of these with the aerial if he wishes. He threw away the Kuna Matata because he realized that it's just worth it at this point. That kind of hurt. Best. And we really are at this point really looking for a card is what we're looking for. So go ahead and take out the aerial. Quest there. I think we go ahead and play the develop. Draw. Magnificent. I messed it up. Goes to me. I clicked the wrong way. Oh well. It does happen. We just wanted to make sure that we got up to 7 without having to get rid of any more. That definitely. Be able to run in the hook there. This gives us the ability to play the Maleficent next turn. Yeah, so we're going to want to play the Maleficent, get rid of the Aerial Singer, so he has to pay the 5 for a new world instead of tapping the Aerial for it. Now, if he wants to play a new world, he's going to have to pay for it. Or so she go ahead. Here's a stitch. What do you want to do? You want to fill my hand? Go. So choices here that we could do. I think we wait some of it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. Six cards in. Enough. I think we. Is it worth? Playing? Go with the. He's got to be running out of. See if he'd load up the board. But that does mean if I am able to draw another Aladdin, but he's got to be out of New York, right? 1, 2, 3. He might have one more left. One, two, three, 6. See if we can race him now. You have 2 lore, each those have to go. You're going to be pulling here. Another beard. Another Moana. Okay, well. I have the ability to get rid of 3 cards in her hand. Oh, summoned her up. Okay. Want to quest with the other Cinderella? Bodyguard there. Ooh. Okay. So. See what you got. I can still play a Hades and a Let It Go. I can play both Hades and the Let It Go if either one of these stick around. All my Be Prepareds are gone. Now he's got to be careful because the Aladdin was still pull from him. Yep, gave it up. So let's take a look at that deck. So we never saw any shields, but that's okay. The Aladdins did pretty good. Pretty much the Aladdin is why he gave it up. He couldn't go anymore. Be prepared. The Maleficents, 80s were great. Stars never played a point. You get a card draw off of Robin Hood. Let It Go, and obviously Dragonfires were. The Auroras weren't that important, or the Bellas, mainly because cycling through. Yeah, I think that got pretty nicely. Now, let's look at our other ramp. Or actually, I think this is the one. Never mind, yeah. So the Gastons took effect. So, versus our other deck, the Gastons were actually useful in this one. The Stitch was not so much useful, but I had them available there to use them if I needed to. The Aurora, not useful, but they were nice in the fact that we were able to use some of them as land as we needed. Same thing with the Bell. The Bell could have came in clutch at the end there if I would have done one earlier. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I did like his deck that he was working with there, this singer aspect. Thought that was pretty cool. So he was obviously using this singer package with some bodyguard in there, and we never got to see it because I wouldn't let him use it, which would be the Moana effect, which is whenever this character quests, you may ready other princess characters so they can't quest. It keeps your princesses from being attacked down. Because of the nature of our deck, we pretty much just kill things immediately, so the Rapunzels never got to take effect. But these Rapunzels are amazing. They're a princess. They're a heal and a draw card. They are absolutely phenomenal card. And he was using that in conjunction with like Una Matatas. So like this would be really good for little damage decks. Be Our Guest was really good with him. He was get a bunch of good cards that he needed. This lets you dig 4 deep and put one in your hand. Part of this world was really clutch for him there, getting back a couple of the aerials. And then the other package that he was really using was the Tinkerbell package, which is this Tinkerbell, but we only saw this one. I'm sure he was running those with the Grab Your Swords, which can be cast by Ariel or Cinderella. So that's an extra, 1 damage there to everything, 2 damage there to everything, plus this single target damage there. Whole new world to redraw his hand after he cleared it out. So yeah, like, it was quite an interesting deck. I like it. Maybe that's something that we'll look at another time too. Okay, so we've been going for an hour and a half. I like to keep these around an hour and a half, so I'm going to end the stream, and we will probably pick up another stream either later tonight or tomorrow afternoon, and I think we'll look at the Sapphire, or not this, the Amethyst Ruby archetype, the other control archetype that I really like. But yeah, also if you just need a baseline deck, you could go with the 38 cards and add in the cards that you need. This would be a great way to get you switched over to looking at this style deck. if you do want to play on this Pixelborn, give you the invite code here. This code right here. Little Q B B Q 2 D 384 A. So lowercase q, the other ones are uppercase. That'll take you over to their Discord. Show you here. Pixelborn Discord, and it'll have your how-tos, how to get the program, how to use it, all that sort of stuff. And then if you're on greenborn.inc, you can always go and export a deck out and import it directly into here, collections. To get the card images, there's URL in the Discord that you can plug in there, or you can download the images directly to your computer and have them connect that way. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.